Not Fragile by Bachman Overdrive, an LP I got for £6 at the Vintage and Vinyl sale at the Front Room Cafe in Castle Street, High Wycombe. I recently bought a Greatest Hits compilation LP by the Guess Who, and I was looking for this album because Randy Bachman formed this band when he left the Guess Who. And in the UK, Bachman Overdrive were much more famous than the Guess Who. I was surprised how much I like this album. It is heavy without being very bluesy. It has powerful riffs and soaring solos that are much less doom-laden than a band like Black Sabbath. They are a bit like Thin Lizzy, only replacing the Celtic with some Canadian flannel shirt-wearing good time stomp. This album has their big hit, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, which was considered to be a bit of a joke at the time, but I have now found out that it was supposed to be a bit of a joke, so I probably appreciate it a bit more. It is probably best remembered as part of a regular Paul Whitehouse and Harry Enfield sketch, where they played parody BBC DJs called Smashy and Nicey, and they would pull down a big lever to engage the Bachman Overdrive. The song uses Pete Townshend's favourite 3-chord riff and a vocal with a stutter, so my generation were always going to be a bit suspicious. Randy Bachman sings You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, and he has a slightly Dylan-esque whine, which I prefer to the other singer in the band, who ironically sounds a bit more like Roger Daltrey, that typical hard rock voice. Their follow-up single, Let It Roll, is both very heavy and very catchy. Back before I actually started trying seriously to write songs, I was reluctant to take Let It Roll to my heart, even though deep down I loved it. And that was because the main riff seemed to me suspiciously like Sugar Sugar by the Archies. But that was before I found out how naughty Led Zeppelin were. And of course, Harry Georgeson. In places they sound like they are almost trying too hard to take heavy riffs to places where they were never meant to go. There is a heads down, no nonsense Crow type boogie, and the album ends with a song that has a very percussive We Will Rock You type verse and a very catchy shouty chorus. It also has Thin Lizzy type dueling and harmony guitars, so mostly this album is all good fun, with really only a small amount of filler, most noticeably an instrumental track that sounds like an abandoned backing track. I would say this album is well worth £6, but I suspect it is the only Bachman album that is. Not Fragile, Bachman Overdrive.